Welcome back, welcome hats to Dreamhack Summer 2011. It worked on attempt number 2. Apollo, we have the final group stage match of the day. It's going to be Liquid Huck versus Moon. The 2 undefeated players in their groups, both of them guaranteed to advance on to the next round. Whoever wins this match will be in first place.
And Battle of the Titans in this group, and I am pumped for this because I want to see the first non-Korean to beat a Korean, and I think this is the best shot so far in the group stages. Huck definitely has a chance against Moon. Moon is a tip-top player, but Huck has been playing extremely well recently.
And I want to give you a brief update from the other brackets. July is definitely going through. He is undefeated in first place, and who's going to advance in second? It all comes down to Hasuobs versus Thorzane. Whoever wins that match will be going through unless there is some weird miracle tiebreak occurrence with Sho, but it's going to be very unlikely as Thorzane did manage to defeat Sho in the previous round, so that means that it's going to be a little tough, but still, it comes down largely to Thorzane versus Sho. Looks like Moon has joined this game, though, so we will find out if we can start soon enough.
And the first map of this series between Huck and Moon is going to be on the Metalopolis. We've seen it a lot, probably the most favorite map out of the entire tournament so far. And comparing that to Dreamhack Winter when we were together, it was Zalnoga Caverns. Now it is Metalopolis. And Moon is ready to go.
There it is.
So take it away.
Very excited to see this get started. We will be starting whenever Huck begins the game. Now keep in mind, Huck just got done with a very long match, but normally we would be worried about him. In this circumstance, no. Huck making hearts, doing brilliant plays, has I think, the strongest endurance of any player I've ever seen. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the final best of 3 from the group stages. Liquid Huck versus We Made Fox's Moon. And here it is. In the left position, the man who just showcased a beautiful game with hearts out of rally points, hearts out of pylons, and hearts for all his viewers at home. It is Liquid Huck! And in the right position, the Korean player, undefeated in overall matches, but still struggling to put a lot of 2-0s on the board. Can he do it here? It is We Made Fox's Moon!
And let's see how Huck's training has been going. And in that Team Liquid OGS house, for every foreigner, it's like a fight club of StarCraft 2 matches. He's getting some sick, intense training. And it's starting to show first time that Huck is actually dominating this tournament. And without dropping a game so fast either. And equally, Moon, without dropping a game as well. So, like you said, this is going to be a fight for first and second place, the highest seed going into that top 16 single elimination.
Now, for any of you just tuning in, this is the final group stage match. After this, Apollo and I will be doing the round of 16 selection ceremony. It is not a simple setup where it's first from A plays second from B or anything like that. It is going to be a random drawing, and that way there is no risk of players throwing their matches, worried about playing any first places in the groups. We see Moon now getting a spawning pool and his second gas geyser, or excuse me, his first gas geyser up. Moon likes to delay that gas geyser so we can get a slightly earlier expo.
And Huck getting a quite late assimilator actually. It was on 16. Which is kind of unusual. He's squeezing in that extra probe rather than getting that on 15, and the same for the pylon here. It was put down kind of late on 17 too, so just getting that extra probe out, and we'll most likely go for some kind of early expansion here. We'll have to see what he does, how many gateways he gets, and so on. But now this probe of Huck's does actually collect a mineral, and we'll be forced to leave the early gas as well before a Zealot, which is usually untypical in this matchup because you want to be getting that Zealot early to defend against those Lings in case they come up. But Huck feeling confident enough to actually squeeze that gas in before that Zealot here.
Looks like with the timing of this probe, we are going to see Moon does indeed get that circling speed first, and Huck smartly just retreats right away. Now, wow, he's pulling this probe all the way to the left. Huck One of those Protoss players who is not scared to do big all-ins against Zerg opponents. Would not be surprised to see a pylon get thrown down here, but oh, Moon!
Oh, no.
He had the right idea, but just didn't have the follow-through.
And sentry has been made now from here. And also the warp gate research is being chrono boosted out now, and we'll continue to save chrono boost to keep getting that out ASAP. And with the sentry in production, I'm not sure what Huck isn't planning to do. He's now put down the 2 gateways here. And with the sentry, like I said, in production, the second one now, I don't think he will be doing anything with this probe here. And will most likely be checking for a 3rd base later on, so he knows what kind of timing he can hit. And despite being in cross positions, Moon does have an overload in an awesome place to go ahead and scout whenever he feels that he needs to.
Liquid Huck doing the 3 gateway expand, a build he's been doing for years. Well, I guess StarCraft 2 years, which I guess is about 8 months. He's been doing it non-stop since the early days of StarCraft 2, so he is well versed in all of the strengths and weaknesses of this play. And I think all the fans out there are just loving as I am, as those force fields that Huck throws down. Some of the best force fields in the business from Liquid Huck. We do see, oh, not going to be going for that Nexus? What happened? Going for that Nexus. There we go.
And Huck has gone in with the probe and scouted now and saw the expansion going down, sees there's just one gas and there's no Roach Warren. And gets a full understanding of what's going on. And as you can see, Moon is going to go ahead and play with a very fast 3rd base coming up. And how is Huck going to react to this? Is he going to be going for a very fast robotic facility? Is he going to add on a bunch of gateways and go for some kind of timing on this 3rd base? And the probe is still alive here for Huck. And is going to go around and see this 3rd base. And this will determine surely what Huck is going to do. As he adds on actually 2 more gateways now, just as he scouts that 3rd base.
Now this is a very potent timing. What Huck can do is begin to add on more stalkers and do a push, but no, this is the hardest push timing to execute properly. A gigantic Zealot Sentry only push. Huck needs to have perfect force fields, but that is seemingly the only kind of force fields that Huck has in his arsenal. Now moving forward with a forward probe. Is he really going to try to win this game with a big push?
I don't know. He's got 5 warp gates. It seems like he might be gearing up for some kind of pressure. I mean, if he was going to... Actually, he might very well try to end it right now, because if he was going to pressure, he'd most likely be doing that on the 3rd base rather than directly into the natural. But a lot of speedlings have been created along with 3 spine crawlers. So Huck is warping in 3 zealots and another... Well, 2 zealots and another sentry. Even more units being warped in. And in goes Huck. Force fields are going to be so vital here.
And here they come. It looks like he is immediately throwing down force fields to block the retreat path of that queen, throwing down force fields to block everything off, and oh no! A ticket to the main. The natural expansion is not under fire from any units. All these Zerglings try to pull back, and now Huck in the main. Here come the endless force fields. It looks like all the key tech structures of Moon are going down.
And the queen, the drones are going to go down. He does have a few roaches in production, but he's going to use the drones to actually engage these sentries. The queen goes down, but these zealots are definitely going to go to town on all these drones. And he's doing so much damage here. And great force fields. Look at that, locking in 3 sentries. Excellent force fields here by Huck.
Does he have enough for another force field at the front? No, it looks like he is actually fresh out of force fields. Oh no, Huck may have thrown away a potentially big advantage there. Losing a lot of units in the main. If you commit to an attack like that, you have to do big damage. But we're going to go back and take a look at the worker count. We see 33 workers for Huck. We only see 30 for Moon.
And, well, 6 are about to pop, so that's going to pop up to 36 in total in the production tab. Moon still making only drones. And now Huck has to go back and get these double assimilators and kind of transition into the next stage of his play. And that is going to be via the robotics facility to get that observer out to start sniping creature humans to continue to scout what Moon is doing. And we'll have to see if he adds on a robotics facility kind of early. It looks like he might be doing as he gets this double assimilators. And now Moon in some comfort areas. Well, actually, stopped producing drones at 14 and started to build a few more roaches here.
Now, I don't know if this is a timing attack or some sort of plan by Moon, or whether he's just feeling a little bit of paranoia. I mean, as we see, rebuilding a queen at the 3rd, rebuilding a queen in the main, very uncomfortable situation, throws off a ton of timings. Huck, though, is very used to these unorthodox situations. If you are a regular viewer of his stream, you see him constantly just attacking, getting in these crazy games, these endurance contests, exactly like the game that we just saw. Those are his comfort zones, but I don't know if the same is true for We Made Fox's Moon.
Where is this probe going down? Looks like it might be going down. It's going to get stopped by a bunch of Lings, though. And that's the problem. It's really difficult to scout as Protoss, especially with any Lings or ground unit. I mean, with any probes, because it will get down. It's not even going to get close to that 4th base to scout it. And he's going to have to use this observer to go in and find out, does Moon have only roaches? Does he have double Evo chambers? Does he have a Hydra Den? And these are the questions Huck needs to find answers to so he can continue with his play. If it's only roaches, he'll continue with the Immortal production. If he sees a Hydra Den, he can easily go up to Colossus from here.
So now Huck going to be going for a Stalker Immortal composition, continuing to use these mobile Stalkers to cut off attack paths that Moon could possibly pull out with. We do see, oh, great move by Huck. A little bit wasteful on the force fields, but still making sure that Moon is losing every unit that he has out on the field. 52 probes versus 64 workers. We see 17 roaches beginning to make their way forward, and this could be a very, very big misfire for the Zerg player.
Yeah, I mean, if Huck actually sees his roaches moving out, he'll most definitely want to engage here. He has force fields, he has the Immortal out, he has 2 Immortals out, and Moon's moving in just as Roach Speed's about to finish, but does Huck see it yet? No. And I think Moon is wise to go ahead and turn around here. Huck realizes that the units are not around the base or anything, and is continuing to scout to find out what else Moon has here.
Layer now done. We see an Overseer morphing in. There's the Spire going down, an Evolution Chamber. Interestingly, the first Evo Chamber for Zerg, and also the first Forge for Huck. A Zergling spots the 3rd base. Roaches immediately begin to make their way on up, and we see Liquid Huck moving all his forces there to defend. And Moon's going to run into a giant wall of gateways.
Ooh. Oh, trap's nice. Nice.
Very nice trap. Immortals ripping apart those roaches. That is a free 8 food for Liquid Huck, continuing to equalize.
Sorry.
Huck is getting slightly more ahead with every engagement.
The problem that Huck has right now is he's kind of forgot about upgrades. Unlike the previous game, he was on top of Lelouch with upgrades, and it's still at 0-0. And that's going to be a problem for him. He's getting Blink a lot faster, though, but not fast enough, as these Lings are going to come in. But Sentries do help out.
How does Huck always get force fields off in the perfect spot? I don't have that ability with Protoss. I just kind of hit F a bunch and pray, and if it works, then man, do I upload that replay. We do see now the Spire is finished, and look at this, 10 Mutalisks up for Moon. So suddenly, Liquid Huck could be forced to do a big retreat. It's all going to come down to whether or not that Blink can come into effect. This is an extremely intimidating force from Protoss.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Korean Zergs are using Mutalisk a lot in this matchup, and it's very hard to deal with as the critical amount come out, but early on it's very easy to deal with. You can go for large counterattacks and just defend with a few cannons and Blink Stalkers, but Huck has no idea about that Spire yet, I don't think, so...
And wow, look at that reaction time from Huck! Not losing a single worker to it. An incredible, incredible reaction time by Liquid Huck. Some of the best I have ever seen. Oh no, Blink Stalkers all over the screen.
Huck needs to be adding on, at least 1 cannon per mineral field here, and could lose a lot as Blink Stalkers are mobile, but not that mobile. And he's going to lose a lot of probes here, but does get there just in time. And as long as Huck just builds a few cannons now, can quite easily launch a counterattack. He has an observer, had an observer on top of all these units here. And the big problem, though, like I said, is that he does not have upgrades yet.
We do see that +2 melee is going down for Moon. A lot of Lings, a lot of Roaches and Mutas, but none of those ultra power units that are good in the late game, like the Banelings, like the Infestors, and in particular, no Hive Tech for Moon, still stuck at layer. I don't even think that there's an infestation pit on the map yet.
Now we do have Moon moving down the right-hand side. Sees there's no 4th base for Huck, and might try and, I don't know, I don't think he can really try to bust this wall. I mean, there are 2 cannons, and Huck does have very mobile Blink Stalkers, and Moon is there. He can easily quite pick off that Zealot, though, for sure. He's going to go ahead and harass this pile and get that down.
I mean, that pylon is really the first damage that these Mutalisks have done to Huck. Huck just calmly waiting until he hits the max point, now also getting a very fast Psionic Storm. And I'm pretty interested by this. Huck is not going for the level 2 attack. He's instead going for the level 1 armor and now building a lot of cannons for defense.
Yeah, now another pylon going down by these Mutalisks. And he's going to retreat. And there's a couple of naked cannons, naked pylons here. One goes down, and then there is another one here that Moon can take control of, but a large counterattack being launched by Moon on the right-hand side of this. And could do a lot of damage. I don't know, actually, no, cannot. There's so many cannons on that third base.
Really aggressive cannoning up by Huck. Oh, Moon going to trap a lot of his own units in here. The ground units for Huck move forward, but in the main, Moon doing a lot of damage. They're going counterattack heavy, but Huck more than prepared, but will it be enough? Again, we see Moon just pulling back with everything, but Huck moving with just his ground forces. A brilliant tactical split up by Huck. In the main, we see that there are almost no probes mining, but these Mutalisks are still keeping the Stalkers pinned back, but wherever the Roaches go, there are more cannons, and it looks like Huck is gaining ground in the bottom right.
He's definitely done a lot of damage here. Lings and Mutalisks come in, and I think that, I don't know, he's not going to use a Guardian Shield. Oh, late Guardian Shield. And now these Mutalisks are going to be able to do a lot of damage here and clean up this quite easily as the retreating units are going to get picked off here. But Huck has a lot of Blink Stalkers about to move down.
Uh-oh, Huck is moving in with a killer force. All he needed to do was finally deflect all the counterattack attempts from Moon. And with this number of Blink Stalkers, here it starts again. The similar attack that we saw crush Lalush in Game 1. And only Blink Stalker force from Huck trying to micro back against those Zerglings. And there, onto the low ground. Aggressive advancement by Huck.
But these +2 Lings are doing so much damage to these Stalkers. Huck with some interesting micro back and then forward again. And a lot of Ling reinforcements are going on. Huck has no idea about that bottom left expansion. And that is really keeping Moon in this game.
But no mining at the third base. It looks like Huck going to target fire it. He sees units being rallied in from the left. It's still going to be a little bit of a challenge with that number of Spine Crawlers. Looks like another counterattack going on by Moon, but we see 3 pylons there. Can reinforce quickly. No, Huck going to go for it. There's a Nidus network down, but no Nidus Worm has yet been made. All the Spine Crawlers now are helping Moon stay alive. But a crazy series of counterattacks by Moon, and it looks like Huck is still barely holding on.
And this is really smart play by Huck, doing a lot of damage and then going back. The only problem is he does not have any idea about that expansion. The bottom left, as I said again. But these Ling Mutas are doing a lot of damage. And 135 food for Huck, but 154 Moon.
Uh-oh. Moon's running into a little bit of a trap, getting pinched off. And can he get that last Mutalisk? No, he cannot. Huck, interestingly, getting armor upgrades. Very smart if you think about it. Mutalisk bounces, do 3 hits. First 9 damage, then 3 damage, then 1 damage. The +2 armor going to reduce the effective damage by 3. Nidus Worm going down for Moon. And we see a lot of Templar out on the map right now. Oh, Moon taking the north expansion, retaking the bottom right. The bottom one still holds. Oh, decent storms, but doing a little bit of damage to himself.
And now Moon is going to unload into the base. So many Lings going to do so much damage. 3 cannons are going to morph, and 4 Zealots will help out a lot, but there are a lot of Lings. Huck most definitely is. Oh, he's going to find the bottom left expansion finally and can start to go to town on that.
Needs to try to keep those Templar alive, though. We see Templar are in the main, cannons everywhere for defense. Can Huck withstand it? Oh no, he's just 1Aing. Oh no, Huck loses all the Templar. And in the main, that's where Huck's focus has been remaining all game long. He is trying to stay alive. Target fire on the Archon. It's not going to be enough. Huck is going to be able to take down the bottom left.
And manages just to warp in enough units on the natural to hold on against this. And pushes Moon out from there. But Moon is going to lose this bottom left, which is very important to him. And the food count's still very equal. And more Lings spawning into the main of Huck. Consistent harassment here by Moon. And Huck is going to leave that bottom expansion now. But this top right expansion is undetected as well. Moon could very well go over there, but more Lings again coming into the base.
We see that neither player really has a particularly good income, but now Moon with a lot of Zerglings there. Joining the Ling Muta together, going to try to reduce this unit count. Huck has a lot of Templar, but none of them have enough energy to throw down any storms. This is a very, very tenuous spot for Moon. He needs to do some key damage here. But in the meantime, oh no!
Oh, Huck!
Oh no! On a move command! Losing a huge amount of Stalkers on accident, distracted in the main yet again. Gonna be a big opportunity for Moon. Gonna cease the counterattack. Huck getting surrounded from all sides. Can he join these forces together? A narrow save by Huck. But did that loss cost him this game?
It very well could have. And now the hatchery, the hidden one in the top right, is up and mining quite well, and will be able to give Moon that economy boost to build only Lings, because that's really all he needs right now. And these storms are going to be so important when this finally comes down to a head-on engagement, which Moon has been avoiding all game long, harassing from many different angles. And this Niner Swim is still there in the main base of Huck, and can be used later on for Moon if he decides to, but a lot of cannons on this third expo. I'm not sure if these Mutalisks can do that much here.
Looks like Huck suspects that this expansion is here, and there he does end up finding it. The Mutalisks are up in the top left. Blink Stalkers will be taking a while to get there. Looks like they're going through the center. In the top center, it looks like, no, there's going to be no attempt by Moon to do any sort of defense. But here it is going in. Where are the storms? And oh, he throws two down nearly immediately, bringing them down into the deep red, but those Zerglings do so much damage so quickly. Meanwhile, the third base, looks like Huck has lost most of his probes, only has 32 left remaining, trying to morph in more Blink Stalkers. Where are the Stalkers of Huck? There they are, picking off the Nexus, but the counterattack from the Zerglings, only 20 remain. Wow, huge storms from Huck. Can he save his own third?
Just about saves it here, Sean, but the right-hand side does go down for Huck. A small feat there. Units, those 16 probes versus 33 drones, and these drones are going to all die. That is really important for Huck.
And there it looks like Moon does try to throw down a Burrow Willy Storm to try to pick them off. We hear some transfuses going down, likely on those Mutalisks. Man, that is a lot of Mutalisks on the field right now. 21, but only 25 Zerglings. And keep in mind, 30 drones, where are they at? They are just hanging out, doing nothing. If we look at the income tab, Moon is not mining minerals. Huck is kind of mining minerals, but he just now got his expansion at the gold up. If Huck can hold this, he can win this game, and a nice blink to pick off some Mutalisks.
And oh, nice storm as well, deflecting those Mutalisks on that side. But two high tempo about to be picked off. Do go into an Archon. Very nice save there, but once again, these Mutalisks, so mobile, are going to be able to move around and do a lot more damage in other areas.
Looks like a big counterattack with Zerglings. He is pulling the probes back, and some beautiful storms do all the damage that he needs. See you later, Zerglings. And meanwhile, the Mutalisks sweep to the top left. An extraordinary management game from both of these players. Apollo, we just cast the best games ever.
We are, certainly, Sean. And this expansion in the south again up, consistently putting up these hatcheries, really keeping Moon in this game and adding on a few more Mutalisks here and there. And the count is getting so high that the Stalkers are just not really getting up there. And he might even lose this. Oh my god, +2 Mutalisks are going to take down this Nexus for Huck. And that is not at all good for him. And it's all going to be about this control. If he can just play completely normal without any mishaps with these Mutalisks, he should be able to take this game. But 3 are randomly in the middle of the map and do get stormed. Got to be so careful with them.
A big key that is missing in Huck's composition are Dark Templar. That would allow Huck to stay defensive with all his Stalkers and still be able to apply pressure with the DTs. But at this point in time, Huck needs to commit to huge attacks because the instant that he gets caught off guard, he will get isolated and picked off, and it looks like we'll be able to maybe pick off a Mutalisk. No, going to return back home. Queen's there for the transfuse, and now we have a lot of Infestors incoming for Moon.
I'm thinking about it, but oh well, now the Infestors are coming out, the decision's a lot clearer, but before the Infestors, I'm sure, wouldn't it have been better just to go for more Archons instead of these High Templar? Archons are so good against Lings and so good against Mutalisks that Huck could have probably engaged directly, but against this kind of force, when you storm, it's so able to actually storm yourself against these mass Lings. So I'm questioning that, but now the Infestors are out, he will be able to use feedback, and once again, Mutalisk are coming into this area. More pylons going down, more gateways are forging. Huck is going to send a few units, but look at all those spine crawlers going down.
Uh-oh, spine crawlers are getting burrowed. It looks like Huck is going to get caught in a really bad spot. We see the Mutalisk going to try to pick off these 2 Stalkers, and there are a couple more blink up, and Huck shocked to see that there is almost a fully defended base here down at South, but it still might not be enough from Moon. We see all of his Mutalisks up in the north position. Moon doing a great job of keeping those alive, but some Zerglings at the last second gonna show up to get these Stalkers out of the base, and Moon manages to defend his only mining expansion, and Huck losing track of these Blink Stalkers.
Oh my god, he cannot lose them at all. His count isn't that high anyway. These Mutalisks are gonna probably come in with it. This is it, this is it. Huck is going for it.
Oh, he demolishes the Infestors, storming everything. But, oh my goodness, where did these Blink Stalkers come from? I cannot believe all the feedbacks that went down on those Infestors. Almost all of Moon's resources completely evaporated. Suddenly, this Mutalisk count that was all in green is now either dead or in the orange, and that south base only has 2 spine crawlers remaining. Huck may have won with that key tactical play.
That's absolutely insane. And now Huck is going to go ahead and take this base down, and he has so many Archons now. They are going to absolutely demolish these Mutalisks, but the problem is these Infestors are going to be so good against this composition now. He has no available feedbacks. A counterattack being launched on this gold, but look, Huck has more units here. Can he hold?
Oh my god, Huck having an answer and able to take out the south base. There are Infestors there. One gets feedback. There are Zerglings and Mutalisks trying to do as much damage as they can, and it looks like the Mutalisk count is still a little bit too high. So Huck, can he retreat in time to keep his Expo alive? 9 probes versus 25 drones. The Archons move to the bottom right. The unstoppable force, only Lings and Mutas on the map now. No way that Moon can deal with these Archons, and Huck's starting to realize that he may be up against a Zerg that is not mining at all.
Indeed, and Huck is actually in awesome position right now. Look at that, no money at all for Moon. And Huck can, oh my god.
And the Observer, it spots the drones in the unit counting station. 13 drones, 11, 9, 8. Both of them have a single-digit amount of workers.
Oh my god, I can't believe this. It's going to come down to, if it does come down to 1 clean engagement, Huck is most definitely going to win now. But is it going to happen? Oh, great blink. Picks off, does not quite get a Mutalisk. But more, oh my god, Huck actually spots the location on the top right as well, and everything is going up there, preventing again, observing the bottom, sees that that top location is the only possible location that Moon can mine from. And guess what? Huck's sending the Archons up there while defending with all these Stalkers and high-tech Zealots in the middle.
Oh no, 6 drones remain, and this is every single one of them. What do they do? And it looks like Moon is trying to advance. He does have Neural Parasite almost researched.
The drones are gone. 2 drones left. That's it. They're gone. Okay, he's got no drones left.
And he has 34 minerals. He cannot make any more drones. And the feedbacks. He storms. Can he get the remaining Infestors? The answer looks like no. And he's Neural Parasiting a Morning Archon. All right, when that Archon finishes, he can attack with it for like 15 seconds. And now it's off, and now he's going to grab it again, but with all these Archons returned back to the fray, it looks like he is simply going to wait until it is out, and he picks off the remaining Infestor, and good game! Oh my goodness, the match of the tournament thus far.
What? That was insane. Huck.
Man.
Wow.
That made the July Thorzane series look like they were in the Bronze League. That was incredible. Huck, just with nothing almost all game long. No big deal. Perfect tactical engagements, seemingly splitting his units up exactly the way they needed to be. And Huck, I thought he had it won at around the 20-minute mark, but then marching all his Stalkers into all the Mutas and Lings, almost losing everything. I mean, that was such a dangerous position for Huck, but holding on incredibly.
Wow.
And now he is 1-0. He is 1 game away.
I can't believe that. Oh my god. His defense against all that harassment, all these counterattacks. Moon in a 30-minute game avoiding direct confrontation over and over and over again. Somehow managed to survive that long, managing to get hidden expansions up all the time. But as soon as Huck started to realize that's how he was surviving in the game, cut that down so fast. And an excellent, excellent play by both players in that game. And we are on the brink, one game away from the first game of a foreigner possibly beating a Korean here.
That is correct. And if there is one who deserves it, it would be Huck with that incredible play. In fact, as a treat for him, we are letting him use the restroom before game 2. Because after a match like that, I would definitely want to be in my comfort zone going into the next game. And wow, we have the results from the Thorzane Hesu Obs match. Hesu Obs wins 2-1 and will advance in second place. Thorzane, the TSL champion, has been knocked out of the tournament.
Wow, that's a really surprising result, actually. That is incredible. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised at that result. Well, actually, wait, that might not be accurate. Okay, so Hasselhoff did win the series 2-1. There is still a minute possibility of a miracle tiebreak, but it would have to be a crazy arrangement of Hasselhoff losing badly to Zhou and Thorzane beating Machine 2-0, because right now in Thorzane's games, it looks like Thorzane, every round that Thorzane has won has been a 2-0. Every round that Thorzane has lost has been a 1-2. And Hesu has 2-0'd everyone except for Thorzane, which again was a 2-1. So if Hesu loses 0-2 to Zhou, I think Thorzane is going to go through.